Hey everyone, welcome to World Entertainment, and yes, Batman Knightfall is here. This is the animated trilogy. They're gonna obviously release it in 3 parts, and we got the first look. The trailer has dropped, as well as a bunch of images, which are from the trailer. But we're gonna take a look at it. I'm gonna get hit for the trailer because it's Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers loves hitting trailers. I suppose if I did this where I just have me over the trailer talking, it'd probably be fine, but I want you guys to see the trailer and be able to appreciate the trailer. So they're going to hit me. So because of that, do hit the sub button and the like button and the share button, and do check out other videos and stuff on the channel. It really does help out the channel, helps me out, and it is very much appreciated. It really is. You guys are fantastic just for being here checking this stuff out. So with that being said, let's dive into this trailer, which, by the way, I think, although obviously it's Knightfall is the first part coming out, it's 3 parts, I think the trailer is all 3 parts that they're showing you, but it's being advertised just as Knightfall, but you'll see what I mean. But here is said trailer. Take a look at this.
Gotham City needs Batman.
Batman, you haven't slept since Arkham exploded 2 days ago. Maybe we should ask John Paul for help. His training is coming along.
We're all that stands between those inmates and the fall of Gotham.
They say you are the greatest detective. And yet you did not see this coming. I intend to break you.
Then give it your best shot.
Let chaos reign in Gotham.
We have to help Batman.
Suit up.
Well, that's a gritty new look for the Dark Knight.
Something else is going on out there.
Come get some! The guilty must pay.
Alright, so there's the trailer. As you can see, it says coming soon. So when exactly, not 100% sure. I actually thought it was meant to come out this month, possibly next month, but that clearly is not the case. So whether it comes out September, October, don't know. But there is the trailer. Again, it does seem like it's all 3 parts in the one trailer, but the first part obviously getting released is Knightfall. I do like the animation style. It does look quite decent. I do have issues with the voice acting though. First of all, it is kind of like very obvious that it's not Kevin Conroy doing Batman, which is unfortunate, but the Joker voice sounds off to me. It was like, ooh. But Bane is the big kind of stick out point because Bane's Latin American, and this was the perfect opportunity for them to get in a Latin American to do the voice, and I think that's a missed opportunity. And no, not Pedro Pascal. We're not talking about him. But overall, I think it's a decent trailer. Again, the animation style looks pretty decent. Now, the one thing about the DC animated stuff is it's incredibly popular and it does incredibly well. It's very successful. However, when they're adapting the comic books into these kind of mini movies and stuff, the hardcore comic book fans always do take issue with it because the source material gets changed because it has to fit into like an hour and a half, whatever the run times are, and therefore you're sacrificing some elements of the story, and they always kind of have issues with that. It's like there's certain elements that you're leaving out, and as they always say, like the comic book ends up being far superior and much better than the movies and stuff like that, the animated movies, which is understandable. Of course, they are constrained with time, so it is kind of like you're reading like what, 30-40 issues of a comic run, you know, can take you months on end, and you're trying to condense that down, as I said, to like an hour and a half. So yeah, obviously some stuff is gonna have to get sacrificed. Mr. Freeze looks a bit weird there. Scarecrow, of course. So it will be very interesting to see how people react to this, because Knightfall is one of the most popular and successful Batman stories that there was out there. And of course, it's one of the most famous of Bane breaking the Bat's back. So I've already seen a lot of the Knightfall fans being very curious as to seeing this. They're not excited, they're very curious. And again, that boils down to the fact that the animated stuff always tends to leave out certain aspects of the comic book, which they have to do. It's just kind of like, well, what do you leave out? Because when you're reading the comic, everything kind of makes sense. You know, you're not looking at it as something that you can simply say, well, you can move that completely out of it and it doesn't affect the story. Everything that you're reading does integrate somewhere into the story overall. Now, of course, this is R-rated as well. So I would assume that's simply for violence. I doubt it's for F-bombs being dropped around and nudity and stuff like that. I'm sure that'd be simply for the violence. Most of the DC animated movies are R-rated anyway. This, I think, is going straight for HBO Max. I don't know if they're licensing it out to other people like Amazon and stuff. I think they're just going with HBO Max, and then of course they'll probably put it out on Blu-rays and stuff like that. I don't know whether this was meant to be in the works before James Gunn came in and stuff. I don't think it was. So I don't think Gunn has like any involvement with this in any way. I think it was completely kind of its own thing. So that's good, I suppose. But overall, it is the case of, will it work for fans? Will it not? Will it be one of those that they go, it's good, but it could have been better? Again, I like the animation style. I think for people who don't have time to read comic books, or, you know, don't have the resources to buy the full kind of story elements that go with these books and stuff, I think these movies are a good way for people to get to see and experience those stories. So it does help that way. You know, I know one of the most kind of criticized ones was The Killing Joke. That they were like, it just missed everything that was important and stuff in the comic run, and they kind of just misstepped their way through it and stuff like that. I completely understand that, but again, I think for people who don't have the time or the resources and whatnot to fully invest in the comic books and read them through and get all of them and all of that type of stuff, these are good ways to get to know and experience these stories. So, you know, again, this is one of the most famous stories where Bane breaks Batman's back and leaves him for dead, basically. And the fact that you're going to get to experience, at least from that part, what you get in the comic books, I think that's cool. By the way, apparently I saw there earlier that a guy who does the voice for Bane accidentally, well, I suppose it wasn't accidentally, I think he did it on purpose, but didn't realise he wasn't supposed to, was he released the clip of the moment Bane breaks Batman's back. It's gone now, I think it was pulled down, but apparently he's getting some shit for that. But there's the trailer. So what do you guys think of it? Does it get you on board? Does it get you excited? Are you more curious? I have seen a lot of the hardcore Knightfall comic fans curious about this. They're not excited about this, but they're very curious about this, and they want to see if they can make it work and pull it off. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for it? Are you curious for it? Do you not care about it? Let me know what you think about it. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe. And as I said, I'm going to get hit, so definitely sub and all that stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.